Hey guys, welcome back. So I thought I would do just a quick video here to showcase some different build ideas. And honestly, this is probably one of the coolest bases I've been involved with, and I didn't build this all by myself. I have a family member playing this one with me. But I've just been kind of experimenting around with different bridge ideas. I really like my bridges in this game. And the cool thing about this game is you don't just have to use the prefabs, and by that I mean, you know, these pre-structured buildings. You can, and once you've completed the build, then you can kind of break walls out and, you know, make it yours. But you can also just kind of piecemeal your own buildings together. So you can start with, say, the foundation stuff, you know, make it as big as you need. Move on to floors, walls, etc. So some of these buildings are prefabs, and some are just going to be of our own design. Okay, so as you can see, I was doing some experimenting there with my bridge, trying to figure out what kind of bridge I want here. But yeah, we just basically took over some islands, and first thing I did was start building bridges between them all. So this one here was particularly challenging because nothing was lining up right. So we actually used two prefabs, and then we just kind of piecemealed the rest of the bridge together. So yeah, that came out very cool. I think I'm most proud of that bridge out of all of them. So yeah, we have, you know, just prefab building. Unfortunately, the trees are growing back through the builds. I don't know if that's something they're going to fix one day. To me, if you got foundation down, you shouldn't have plant life growing up through there. So again, I don't know if that's something they'll fix or, you know, if it's just the way they wanted the game. But, so yeah, that's another prefab building, by the way, but we did modify it. Once again, the trees are in the way, but, on this one, there's supposed to be a staircase, like a grand staircase right in the middle. But once again, the stupid trees. So what we did instead was we split the stairs up and created kind of another doorway to get down in here. That was another problem. The stairs didn't leave a room for any kind of access to get in from that direction. And that was going to be our main way in and out until we repositioned this wall over here. Same reason, there was a tree right in the middle of the doorway. So we had to swap those around also. Alright, so let's see here. That's the prefab, and you can see the details are in the devil here. So a friend of mine did this, family member, and very cool, very detailed. You know, I like the feel to it. Kind of feels like you're, I don't know, on vacation or something, just hanging out. And I kind of did something similar over here. It was like the battle of the best patio, per se. Of course, I think mine's better. But, yeah. So just different builds ideas there. Now, that's pretty much it for the prefab side of stuff. What I'm going to do is kind of take you over here now to where I'm doing it all by... Okay, so these are prefab buildings also. This is kind of where we put all the followers' sleeping quarters, just kind of out of the way. So yeah, this bridge, completely piece by piece. Building this stuff is challenging, especially under the water line or anything that's below your eye level, because if you're building from the top down, you have to have that little white cursor under the piece you want to build on. Well, that can prove especially challenging. There's a trick to that. I don't know, if you guys want me to do like a demo video of just kind of building one of these structures or something, leave that in the comments, and maybe I'll do a complete video of, you know, from the ground up kind of build, and the little tricks and techniques I use to get pieces where I want them to go. If you're building from above, it's piece of cake. You just kind of build like regular Legos, and it's, you know, no problem. So here, this is that prefab building. It is the same one that I just took you over to, the great big tower here. But I didn't actually use the prefabs to place these. For one, the thing only lets you put it so close to other objects and builds. So it just won't let you butt it right up against a second one of the same design. So in order to do it that way, you have to do it from scratch. So I just kind of figured out it was a 5x5 base on the biggest of the blocks here. And so I did 5 across, 5 up, and that was one platform for the first building. And I made sure that that would end here in the middle of the bridge. And then I did another 5x5 over here. So you should be able to visualize. Now I'm going to have two of these sky towers going up right here, and they'll look just like that one over there. So yeah, very cool. It was just kind of something my family member said on a whim, hey, let's do this. Okay. So I don't know if we're actually going to stick with this design or if we want the two towers to be completely separated with the bridge in between. I kind of did a consolidated design here with the big door in the middle. But I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool, so I went with it. And again, I'll have to, figure out how to build these from scratch. I'll probably keep running back over referencing that building and then just kind of going, layer by layer until it's completed. All right, guys, we've actually put a lot more into this map. It was a really good map for gameplay. There were desert regions, snow regions, and Greenland regions real close together. Well, the desert was a little bit of a hike, but the original idea for a base was going to be on the top of this mountain, but it was kind of boring, I had to admit. The only thing it really had going for it was the elevation, which I like for, the glider. But, I don't know, my family member was just kind of exploring and said, hey, there's some land pieces in the middle of this lake, let's do it. Okay. Okay, so all these campfires can probably get ripped up here soon. One thing that I really liked about this, though, was there was a cave right here, so I would have really enjoyed building a base right here. It would have been small, but it would have been so nice to have access to this cave, and it's an ice cave, because this is actually considered snow region. Anytime you see, like, white in between all the dead leaves and grass and stuff, you're in the snow. Another way to validate that is look around and see what kind of trees are growing. If it's pine trees, snow region. So anyway, one thing I really liked about this particular spot, though, look, I already started building a sky ramp, but I didn't need it. Our main base and this potential site for a base were so close, I literally built a bridge connecting the two together. So, yeah, this is going to be my crafting bungalow. And the bridge actually connected right to the building. Now, this is just a real simple support structure. I didn't, have time to come over here and start working. So I just put something there so it looked like it was being held up by something. But wow, the other towers? Yeah, good stuff. Whoa, my game just froze there. The lag. Alright, you can see it's already kind of looking like there's a whole group of people in their hotboxing the place. But, yeah, I just put the campfires down because they're really, really good for lighting. None of these other lights really do it for me in this game. So again, guys, this is not a prefab. I did all this just by, trying different pieces, seeing how they looked, seeing how they fit together. And then I just kind of, centered stuff and went to town. It was a lot of fun building. It got built and torn down like 1,000 different times. That's okay. Matter of fact, for those of you who grew up using Legos, like yours truly, it was so much fun, and I say this sarcastically, to sit there and get to step like 57, and then you realize you didn't count the little dots right, and you put something in it wrong in step number like 5, and the only way to fix it is to rip the whole thing apart and start over. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. This kind of took me back to those days. How many times I had to tear down and rebuild this sucker. But it was still fun. Alright, so just to kind of show you what I did here, I got a little overzealous and I started going a little bonkers with all the woodwork here. But I thought it would be really cool to have like a balcony structure down here, and of course the trees are a problem. But, so yeah, just, ideas. And I pay particular attention to the support structures. I like details, as you can tell. So for right now, I'll just go ahead and take you guys across the rest of the bridge. And I'm not done with this thing. When I have a spare hour or something and I just want to decompress and have a little fun, I get on here and I'll build something. If I don't like it, I rip it down. If I like it, I build on it. Okay, so let's see. That was my snow base. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and fly down for this next one, because this structure is awesome! And this was actually built a lot quicker than you might think, because I used walls. So, it really sped the process up from using things like foundation pieces, where this is more vertical height. Where, I would have been stacking the foundation pieces for days. Not to mention farming the granite for that would have been a nightmare. So anyway, yeah, that staircase actually connects to the bridge. I'll go ahead and take you up there. All these dudes are probably going to follow me now. Just to kind of show you what I did in the middle here, I've got the stairs conjoining, and I've got campfires above every junction. And that just really lit the whole structure up real nicely. And again, this wasn't necessary, this wasn't a prefab. I just liked the look of something there to hold up such a big long bridge. I mean, that is ridiculous. Okay, so here's how I conjoined the stairwell into the main floor, and I did widen this a bit and put a structure on top. And again, this is all piecemealed, this is not a prefab. So yeah, it was a lot of tearing down and rebuilding, but it was fun. Just a little decorative stuff going on in the interior here. So that's where we would have come in from had I continued walking from that tower. And as you can see, I haven't even finished the railing and stuff here. And there's a reason for that. For one, it's a lot of wood farming. For two, I'm not quite sure how I want it yet. I might want to do something like this all the way across. Because how cool is that? But again, farming, you know, decisions. So, you know, just, and again, experiment phase. So this is more just to give you guys ideas. This is not a completed deal. And here's our main base. Oh yeah, I tried kind of fooling around with candles. So again, just different ideas, different things I wanted to test out, see how they looked. And they're all fun to build, you know, regardless whether or not you keep anything. It's just, it gets your mind off of stuff. You can focus on just building with Lego pieces, and it's just a lot of fun. Alright, so yeah, here's our main base. It's, you know, big. It's like a, no kidding, proper compound. All these buildings are probably unnecessary. Again, you know, just playing, having fun, building, experimenting. You can see the wraparound porch here, which is pretty cool. I'm not quite sure what this is going to be. I think it's going to be just for growing food. I wasn't the one that put that up there, so I'll have to figure that out when we all get back together and play a little. And, you know, we got our crafting tents and so on and so forth. Now, we do have a desert base going, but honestly, we haven't really done much over there yet. We were more interested in unlocking all that Oriental type architecture that you saw in the first part of the video here. So, in order to unlock those crafting specs, you've got to build up and level the base in the Arctic region. So that's what we were really focused on, because that's what we wanted to build with. So yeah, the desert base, that's all the castle stuff. So, you know, at some point we'll get over there and get that done. But you can see the desert is real close. In fact, we've got the Sky Tower of many angles there. There are clearly different schools of thought on who's building the best bridges. But yeah, it gets us to the desert base, so you know it's functional. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and break away from this map right now and show you guys some stuff we're doing in other maps. Alrighty folks, I went ahead and made a map transfer, so now I'm in a different game. This is one I've been playing with some good friends of mine. And again, just kind of experimenting, fooling around with the different parts, pieces, the prefabs, just kind of seeing what we can all make out of things. And this is actually what started the island base idea for the other map. I showed a family member this and they were like, oh, we're doing that on mine. And then it just kind of, you know, exploded from there. So this one's a little bit more basic. You know, not quite as much built up here. And reason being, we've already got 3 bases and you can only have 15 followers. So, you know, 5 per base, they're already maxed out. So there was really no point in putting down a base marker and upgrading this base because you just can't get the followers in. Not only that, you've already got all the crafting specs, so it's just kind of an epic waste of resources at that point. So this one is really just, you know, for cosmetics and to experiment and have some fun with. Now this structure here, that was 2 prefabs, and I broke the roofs apart and kind of made my own roof. So it looks like just one solid building, but I kind of liked how it, you know, opened up an entryway into the actual base itself. And again, you know, just for cosmetics and experimentation, just a lot of fun to build it. I probably wasn't quite finished over here yet. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this wraparound idea. But, again, just, you know, it was fun to do it on islands. The problem I'm having here is the NPCs that do show up are usually underground. Case in point. So, I don't know, that's a glitch again, you know, they're going to have to fix some of this stuff. But that is one big problem. Every single island base I've experimented with, we're having that exact same issue. Now, sometimes you can line your cursor up depending on how low in the ground they are, and you'll still be able to talk to them and have them follow you and stuff, but no such luck on this island. Okay, so this is that prefab tower, and I didn't alter this one other than a little bit down here. I ripped out some of the interior wall work and whatnot so I could open things up, and I put that window in. That wasn't part of it either. And again, this is why I say I'm not done with this yet, because I don't know how I want this all to connect. I might do another wraparound porch idea just so I can have an entryway into the building on this side. Or I'll rip it out altogether. We'll see how I feel. Okay, there's another sky ramp. That's going to take us back to our Arctic base, but for now, I'll kind of finish giving you the tour here. That's just another light tower. And again, me and my bridge designs, super fun. It's a more basic bridge there. I didn't really have to do too much work on that one at all. And you can either walk through the building to continue on out. And I really like how that lined up. It was a little tricky with the stairs, but I got it. Or you can just kind of go around and outside the side of the building there. And I put these giant gates. Not like it really keeps anything out. The skeletons still spawn on the island, so it's super frustrating. But this is just more for, you know, cosmetics and appearance. Something to segregate the base from the mainland. But I wanted the bridges because it really sucked. You know, the only bridge we had in and out was that way. So if you needed to get over here on land, it was just a really, really long walk to go all the way around. So hence the bridge was born. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and take you guys to our Arctic base now. Alright guys, by the time I got over here, night fell, so you get to see it at night now, which is kind of cool too. A friend of mine did the whole design on this one. He just kind of wanted to go for like a summer camp kind of vibe, and I think he nailed it. He's got like all the individual cabins, he's got the tower, and of course crafting and storage areas. Wow, my game's really rubber banding right now, so bear with it. So yeah, it just had a real cool feel to it. You know, like I said, summer camp kind of vibe. And he's got the crafting, the followers' beds. He really likes these bungalows for, you know, consolidated crafting area, which is cool. And then he really likes these garages for, you know, making storage. So, you know, again, just different ideas. Do what works for you. I just really kind of liked the different feel that this base had to it. Not only that, there's a cave right next to this. Made it... Oh, wait. That's another map I'm thinking of. They all kind of bleed together, guys. So now, these stairs don't just let you sprint right up, and it's super frustrating. Sometimes it works just fine. Sometimes, you know, it acts like this, and it just doesn't want to get up there. Sometimes if I just keep jumping, it'll fix it. Right now, it's not. Okay, so that was our desert base. Now check it out. See how close our main base is? Talk about insanely convenient. And we didn't know any better. This was our very first game. And we just spawned here. We were like, okay, I guess we need to start building stuff. We had no idea we needed to be close to anything. We had no idea what we were doing. It was just a really happy accident to be right next to a neighboring biome. So yeah, we just kind of... And unfortunately, we put all the crafting stuff outside first. We didn't know any better. The rain kind of made it a problem, you know. So we eventually just went ahead and butted two of these up together and put some crafting stuff under cover that way. Got some chests tucked away up top side. And we were starting to work on like a really big storage area, and we just kind of lost interest, and that's where it stayed. Alright, moving right along from here, I'd like to show you guys the snow base, which there's not much to it. In fact, I don't even think we're done upgrading it, or maybe we are. Come on. With the sprinting. Yeah, see, when we first built this sky ramp, this wasn't happening at all. You were able to sprint up here just fine. Then at some point, we started having problems sprinting, which made people start trying to build the stairs different ways. And it seemed like no matter how we built the stairs, it just always, you know, caused this problem. So there was an update somewhere that caused a bit of the hiccup. Now, see, all of a sudden, it's working just fine. And that's, you know, the same stairs that I was climbing before where he was hiccuping. Okay, so in line with keeping all the bases close together, our snow base is, you guessed it, right at the top of that giant upside-down V. Funny thing, me and my friend were just over here fooling around, and I was like, hey, it's kind of hard to see, which way to fly at night. Maybe I should build a runway. And a couple of campfires turned into many, and then all of a sudden you could see the thing from halfway across the map, so it was pretty fun. So needless to say, sometimes I fly over here just so I can, get a feel for my landing strip. I called the FAA just to see if this was to spec. They hung up on me. Alright, so again, guys, not much to this base at all. In fact, it looks like we did actually update it, or upgrade it, so it is level 10. So I guess all the sky ramps we built just really added up and put us over the marker there for that. So again, with the storage garage, cool stuff. We got the crafting bungalow. I don't even know what this was built for. Probably just beds. Yeah. So the actual base we were going to continue with was that one over there. I'm going to try to get us over there because there's a castle we built on like a mountain peak, which was really cool. Come on, guy. Get up the stairs. Man, it's so frustrating watching him glitch out like this. I hope they fix this. There was definitely an update done somewhere along the way where it didn't used to be a problem, and now it's been a problem ever since. It's just super frustrating. There we go. See, sometimes you can get it to jump. If you jump, you can get it to land and just kind of take off. So yeah, we thought, building a base here would be really cool. It's high up, it's got the altitude. You can see that intricate stairway getting up here, lit by campfires. But yeah, plenty of flat space to work with. We just barely fit this structure into this little spot. And this is a prefab. We haven't, altered it yet or anything. And then we just kind of gave up on it. We lost interest, I guess. But yeah, fun stuff. A family member of mine is building a sky base, so that's pretty cool. Cool idea. And from here, that's pretty much the map. And I guess I could take you guys... Well, night's going away now. That island base I made looks really cool at night. And it's not marked on the map, but it's that way. So, I think there's one other map I want to show you guys. Okay, so we wanted to build on a skyscraper, or a rock scraper as they're come to be called. So yeah, this was real challenging. Again, a family member wanted to do some experimenting, so we got real creative and started building into the cliff wall itself. So this can be done, and you can actually upgrade a base here. This just goes nowhere but up to the top. There was some pre-positioned treasure chests there. So unfortunately, there's just not enough land space on these to build, some of these prefab structures are just too big and they break apart when you try to place them. So, we just simply kind of started feeding off the rock edge there and built outward and enclosed it. There's a balcony there. Again, just, experimentation and creativity. And we haven't really gotten the base too far. It was just more to see if we could even build it. So yes, we could build it. And unfortunately, this base is nowhere near all of our other bases. We are so far away from our first main base. We didn't like how far things were apart, like the desert was just really far. So we wanted to find another spot on the map where things were closer. So this is where we decided to rebuild. So we'd have a desert base, grasslands base, and then of course a snow region base, and all within very close flying distance to each other. So what I'm going to do now is pause video and try to get back to our original bases, even though they're hecka far away. A couple of other things I want to showcase over there for y'all. Alright, so I'm now approaching what's gonna eventually be our snow region base here. And the thing I really wanted to highlight was this bridge, and again, just experimentation and having fun, but wow, that took some time, because it was all, foundation blocks, so I didn't have the elevation there. I had to go out and do a lot of granite farming to make that thing a reality. But again, it was just real fun, I wanted to see if it could be done. Not only that, I wanted to connect the high points of this land mass. So we couldn't build the sky bridge from here because it wasn't, far enough out. So I wanted to take advantage of some height. Well, we didn't have any else nearby. That piece of land sticking up was the best I could do. So that bright idea kind of kicked in. I was like, oh, hey, I could build a bridge over there. So yeah, we really haven't even built here yet. In fact, all this stuff is out in the open, so, you know, rain is a problem. Which is really weird because it's a snow region. It doesn't rain here, and it's not even precipitating right now. But you still have this issue, can't use in the rain. So again, I hope they fix this issue. It's like the game thinks it's raining here, but it's not. So just, you know, super frustrating. So anyway, here's the bridge in all its glory. And I didn't really do anything else too fancy on this map other than, you know, I really wanted to make a really cool snow base. So unfortunately, there's just really nothing else to show you here other than that. The one thing that we haven't done yet and we keep talking about is building a cave base. Now, you can construct builds in caves. I've done plenty of them. But one thing that I have not tried to do is actually put down the base llama for upgrading it. And I would assume it's possible, because you can build everything else in there. But another assumption would be, what specs does it unlock? I don't think there's any, you know, quote-unquote cave specs, so I think it would just unlock, you know, wherever the cave is located. If you build up in a frost cave, it'll probably be the snow region specs it unlocks. You know, if you build inside a grasslands cave, it'll probably be the grasslands specs that it unlocks, and so on and so forth. Alright folks, hope that helps you all out and gives you some building ideas. You know, play with the prefabs, play with the piecemeals, but, you know, the sky's the limit on creativity. So again, if you want me to do videos, like specifically showing how I constructed some of these things that I've showcased, please feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll just kind of do a recording once where I just, you know, maybe I'm not talking so much, I'm just recording the whole thing, and then I'll edit the thing into small pieces so you can see, like, important steps along the way. Because nobody wants to sit here for 3 hours to watch me build a bridge. Alright guys, hope that helped y'all out. Best of luck and happy hunting.